What elo is this in?
I think it was around Silver 2.
Silver 2? Okay, and how long have you been playing League for?
Started last season, season 12.
Okay.
Kind of hard like silver now.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. So let's see. Against Zed, going Corrupting Potion is perfectly fine. There's also the like off chance you could also go. I would say Dark Seal is pretty good too. But for the most part, like if you feel like you're going to be trading a lot, Corrupting Potion is okay. Against Zed, I wouldn't recommend Teleport. I don't know if you take like Teleport all the time, but specifically against Zed, it's kind of hard to run Teleport because if you don't pressure him early game, what's gonna end up happening is he's just gonna farm and then outscale you, and then you have you have no kill pressure if you run Teleport.
Yeah, I realized. I failed the early kill and then everything went downhill.
Yeah, so like after like he hits 6 and you have Teleport, if you don't take advantage of the Teleport early, which I would say like a lot of people don't take advantage of using Teleport, like people just don't utilize it correctly. And so that's why I would say Ignite is a lot better most of the times.
Okay.
So let's see here. What do you feel like you had most trouble with in this game?
Well, I feel like at the start I had a game plan to fight the set, but then I failed the kill and then I was more like a hairless chicken.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's talk about trade patterns here since in this elo, I would say trade patterns and like understanding what to do and what like in lane is kind of important. So right here in this situation, right? We're going against Zed. What does Zed start?
Usually Shuriken.
Okay, so level 1 generally he'll start Q, right? And level 2, what do you think he'll go?
His shadow, the W.
Perfect. And so for you, you went W, right? W level 1.
Yes.
And then level 2, what would you go?
Q.
Okay. So level 2, you go Q. You could go E, but since this is the answer for right now, this is what we'll start off with. If this is the case, Z goes QW, you go WQ. If you look at the trade patterns, what's going to happen is ZQ is going to be on a 7-second cooldown, right? Roughly 7 seconds. And W is going to be like 20 something. This is going to be pretty long. W about 10, and then Q about I think like 8, 7 or 8. Yeah, 7. Okay, so we'll remove this. 7. So if we look at this, generally you have lower cooldowns against Zed. The only thing you have to worry about is his Q, right? Right. So if he uses his W, it's going to be a very long cooldown. Okay.
All right.
So with that being said, if you see Zed using his Q like this, don't be afraid because do you know how ZQ works?
I mean, it just seems like a straight line.
Yeah, so it's a skill shot, right? So Z skill shot. If it hits any target first, it'll deal reduced damage to the next target.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're standing in your minions like this, right? So if you look, if you're standing in your minions like this, what's going to end up happening is ZQ is going to go off. And then this next hit right here is actually going to deal reduced damage. So if that's the case, level 1 Zed has no Q, right? That's when you want to go offensively and press W. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if he ever positions like this is a grief position from Zed. So in that case, we want to utilize our electric Q. So we're going to auto. You can tank the Q. If you can dodge it, that's even better, but it doesn't really matter if you tank the Q or not, as long as like you get the reduced damage. Okay, so we're going to auto plus W plus auto, and that equals electrocute. And then this full combo right here is going to deal like about 150 damage. Level 1. Okay. So this is way more worth than Zed. Like, here, let's read this real quick. So 93 physical damage to the first enemy they pass, and 56 physical damage to each additional enemy. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
150 compared to 50, that's like for sure worth trade.
Yeah, almost 3 times as much.
Mm-hmm. So here, I would always just look for like when he auto attacks or like comes up for an auto attack. So if we use our W here, we don't have any kill pressure or like any pressure to lower his HP bar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So we want to save our W. Against ranged champions, you can use W to dodge skill shots, right? Because of the movement speed. You get 40% movement speed. But against a melee champion, we don't really have to worry about like using our abilities to play safe. We want to be using our abilities to pressure. Right, this is the common mistake that like a lot of people deal with against melee champion is not pressuring enough. Okay.
Yeah. Just like kind of forget that Zed is a melee champion because of the Q.
Mm-hmm. So this was a good attempt right here, right? So this right here was like a perfect attempt at doing the auto W. The only problem with this though is you want to be walking forward when you W. So let's play this again. This was perfect, but we stood still, so Zed walked outside of W range. So this is W range, and he walked outside of it.
Oh yeah, I see.
So W range is relatively close to auto range, but if he walks out of it, then the W will not hit.
Yeah, and then it goes to the minion.
Yeah, then it goes to this one. What summoner spell would you recommend in a Zed matchup? Ignite. Do you know when you hit level 2, by the way?
I think it's first melee minion for the second wave.
Perfect. So it's first melee minion of the second wave, right? So that's going to be this one because it's super low, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you want to actually be postured like this. I'm going to also turn off vision. So you want to be postured like this because what does Zed have? Level 1, Q. Level 2, he has W. Right, if that's the case and we hit level 2 first here, he's not going to hit level 2 because he can't kill these minions. That means we have trade pressure if we kill this minion.
Oh yeah.
Because we hit level 2. But Zed is still level 1.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. So this is another important thing in a melee matchup specifically, that you take these advantages like you're about to hit level 2, auto WQ, and that's instant electrocute as well. Okay?
Yeah.
Nice, good Q. That's actually a really good Q. Auto W and then Q. If we got the W damage there, that was electrocute. Yeah, so just exactly like this. It's just a little bit more execution. But you see how low his HP is already? Imagine if we did the combo like twice. He would be like here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunities I see.
Mm-hmm. So it's just capitalizing on the range versus melee matchup advantage, which is like he has to, you know, give up space to be able to farm these minions with like Q. Okay. And then also on top of that, like let's see he's this low, right? And then you have like these minions crashing on tower. If he's this low, if you just auto WQ and then ignite, right? He's just dead, right? That's just dead HP. And then he's going to miss 3 waves. Okay. So this is how you like take advantage of early game and playing a little bit more aggressively towards your kit.
All right.
He hits level 2. That's perfectly fine. This ward is good. This ward is fine. Ooh, I like the attempt. Yeah, you have the right intentions, which is a really good start. I like that. So what is one thing that we have to worry about when we're playing against Zed? Do you know?
Well, that he can W in with his shadow and then gets the melee range.
Yeah, so he has a lot of damage, so we always should be wary about like their range and stuff like that with any kind of champion, right? So we want to be aware of like when can he Q, W, E, and R, right? But the main thing with Zed is he doesn't have mana. So the longer you stay in lane, the better it's for Zed. Because the more you utilize your mana, the harder it's going to be to stay in lane and get a good recall.
Yeah, I ended up running out of mana there, and
Yeah. So also here, like, you see how you proc your corrupting potion for mana? We're kind of wasting the HP portion, right? There's you're already full HP, so we're not going to be able to get any more HP.
yeah, that's true.
So if this is the case, you want to be trading with him immediately right now. But as you can see, it's just running out, right?
Yeah, full HP, but
Okay, I like this positioning as well, because if you ward it on this side, right, you want to be playing towards this side. And that's also good because Master Yi is on this side. So like, let's say an extended fight happens and you have to walk this way. It's better to walk that way than to walk away from your like Master Yi, right?
yeah.
Ooh, nice right here. So right there, we got an auto W. Go for another auto. We want to be utilizing our electrocute here. Ooh, nice try on the charm. Okay, so we hit level 4. Ooh, really nice Qs. Yeah, your Q, like, execution on Q, very good. I like it. Nice, we got our electrocute off. Got the full damage, full combo. Do you know how corrupting potion works, by the way? Hello, Luna. Yes, coaching.
I mean, I know it has a burn after, but I realize often I forget about the burn at the end.
Yeah, so corrupting potion gives you burn, right? Off of any auto attack or ability. But only when you're activating it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like here, when we're going for this trade, you see how you have one potion left, right? You go for a full combo. But during this entire time, we're still holding onto the potion. And then after the full combo goes off, you're going to see right here. Then we use our potion. So we don't actually get the burn off onto the Zed.
Yeah, true.
So we already know that we're going for a trade here. And we're a bit lower on resources. So immediately when Zed does this, and we're already below this much HP, use your potion and then go for the trade. Okay?
Yeah.
That way we can just maximize our damage.
As the is starting so much damage and opportunities.
Yeah, so you have the right intention. It's all about just like maximizing that damage and stuff like that. Okay. This ward, I generally wouldn't ward here because you already see your Master Yi here, so we don't really need vision. If anything, like you want to be careful of Jarvan, so you'd probably ward around this area. Okay, so here's the problem. Here's the problem here. So Zed has no HP potions, and you have, you know, a resource advantage because you have more HP. You have a little bit of mana. In this situation, do you know how wave management works? Or like, do you know like about wave management?
A little.
A little bit? Okay, so let me ask you a question. If we were to not touch this minion wave, right? Nobody touched it. Zed didn't touch it, you didn't touch it. Which way would it push?
I think towards Zed.
Towards Zed?
I think, but I don't really know.
Okay, so the correct answer is actually it's going to slow push to your side. And the reason for this is because you see how this minion wave and this minion wave are arriving here?
Yeah.
So how many minions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minions. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so equal amount of minions towards Zed's side. And the reason this is important is because when the next wave arrives, which wave is going to arrive faster? Zed's minions or your minions?
No, Zed's minion.
So if Zed's minions arrive faster, that means it's going to attack first.
Yeah.
So if you have equal amounts of minions, but Zed's minions are arriving first, that means they're going to clear the minions faster. Therefore, it's going to start pushing towards your side. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anytime it's past the middle point, you got to ask yourself, right, which side has more minions, right? Depending on which side has more minions, it'll generally push to that side. So if it was here, 6 and 6, it's going to stay in the middle. Okay? If it was 6 to 8, which way is it going to push?
Towards me.
Towards your side. Okay? So then if, in this case, it's equal, then it'll push towards your side. And then the same goes for this way as well. If it's equal 7, these minions are going to arrive faster. So that's why it's going to slow push to this side. Okay? Just as a general rule of thumb, that's how it's going to work. Okay?
All right.
So if that's the case, what we could do here actually is you could actually get a recall off before this wave arrives, and then TP back using your teleport, and Zed will have to clear this entire wave. Otherwise, it's going to slow push to your side. And why is this important? It's because he has no mana, or he has no HP, right? So if you come back with full resources plus 1 item, right, we get an additional item as well. That means you can freeze the minion wave here. Okay. So right here, as he's pushing this, he's not going to be able to push it fast. So by the time you TP, you can freeze the minion wave here. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And that means if he does recall, like let's say Zed does recall, we keep this freeze, you're going to be up like 3 waves. You're going to be ahead by 3 waves plus 3 waves. All right. Let's say he stays though, right? Let's say he stays here. That means he has you have kill pressure. So Zed has to break this freeze. And that's how you utilize TP early. But it's kind of hard to think about that, right?
Yeah, I didn't really was sure what to do in this situation.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, resetting here, it's going to slow push to your side. We freeze here, and then Zed is low. We have kill pressure. He has to recall or break the freeze. Otherwise, he dies or he loses a lot of minions. Okay. So let's see what happens here, actually. Really good cues, actually. Oh my god. No! He's 29 HP. Wait, that was actually a really good combo. Very good. Okay, so I would say your mechanics are pretty good. Okay, mechanics are pretty good. We just got to effectively use our damage a little bit more. Okay?
Yeah, see.
So that was actually a really perfect combo. What the fuck?
Maybe
that was
too
really
good
good.
because I couldn't let go of the kill anymore and stayed there without reason. And
So this right here, oh my god, that was beautiful. Double Q, triple W. Do you know what? Do you know why he actually lived?
no.
Okay, so let's watch this replay. You see that auto?
Yes.
So the auto did how much damage to the minion? About 60. So with armor and stuff like that, it'll deal about 30 something damage to Zed. And then if we had that auto attack before, you see how much HP he has left?
25.
Yeah, so if we got that auto attack on Zed instead of this minion, he actually would have died.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's a little unlucky, but it happens. But you can see this is why we're going over specifically what we can do better to effectively use our damage, right? And this is why we're going over these specific things, right? So utilizing electrocute a bit more. This auto on the minion is just unlucky. It happens, right? But being more conscious about like rotating our spells, and then TP here. If we had Ignite instead of TP, we would be able to kill Zed here as well. But now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're going to have to stay for this. And this is really bad. Because we have no mana. Zed is 1 HP though. Alright, do you know when to recall?
Usually I think I wanna get a wave under the enemy turret.
So there's 3 different reasons. One is resources, so your HP and mana. Alright, so if we're looking right here, we should recall for resource. Second thing is item power spike. Can we buy an item? Now let's check our gold. How much gold do we have? 720. Okay, that could buy us like, you know, amplifying tome and boots. So yes, this would be a good time to recall. Now the third reason is for tempo. Okay, and like you said before, is we should get our minions under the tower. And this is important because if we don't, it's gonna freeze and then we're gonna like lose a lot of minions. All right, so tempo wise, if we can get this crashed, that's why we want to recall. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here our goal is to reset as soon as possible. We see Jarvan up here, so you don't have to worry about too much. But after this point, this gets a little weird because like you want to kill the Zed, right? But if you overstay, the problem is he has energy.
Yeah.
And you have no mana. So hopefully we don't stay. Hopefully we just reset. I like this play. I like this play a lot. No, he stopped the recall. Wait. Oh, he went for the kill. Oh, no. Okay, let's see what happened. Ooh, right here. So we use W to dodge like the shurikens, right?
Yeah.
But all the W's went onto this minion. If we were able to auto attack plus W auto attack, we can kill Zed right here. But that's okay. So we dodge all the shurikens, but W electrocute does kill here. And we're gonna have to TP back here. So we TP back. Okay. In this case, let's talk about this again. 7 minions to 7 minions. Which way is it gonna push?
Towards him.
Good. Perfect. It's gonna slow push to his side. And generally in this kind of scenario, like we know Zed is recalling and coming back, right? So he recalled and then he's gonna walk back. The best way to deny these minions, you don't want to shove this cannon wave. Okay? And I'll explain to you in a second. But the reason why we don't want to push this cannon wave immediately is there's 2 reasons. One, if you push the cannon wave immediately and crash it under tower, Zed is going to be able to come back and get all the CS. Right? He's only going to miss 1 melee and he's going to be able to get cannon and all these minions. All right? And 2, the reason for not pushing this is because if we slow push the wave, right, if we just last hit these minions, by the time the next minion wave arrives, you're going to have all these minions plus another wave. And it's going to be here. And the reason this is important is because you're against Jarvan. Okay? If you're against Jarvan, let's say you didn't push this wave fast enough, right? And then the next wave arrives here. What's going to happen? Zed has a EXP lead. What if Jarvan just walks here?
Well, then I might be dead or kind of like get an CS.
Yeah, you might be dead because you don't have flash. Okay. So this is why we want to slow push this, because we want to be able to safely farm these next 2 waves. Okay. But the 2 reasons is so you can safely farm the 2 waves, but also deny as much CS as possible. Deny cannon. I think I misspelled that. Cannon. I don't know. But anyways. But we're going to see right here. Let's see if you push this or not. Perfect. You're slow pushing this. This is actually perfect. Are you sure you need coaching? You're doing everything right.
I went like 1-8 in this game.
But the early game, you're actually playing this correctly. So you see how many minions just died here? 3 minions, right? 3 melee minions.
Yeah.
If you pushed it to tower, how is tower going to aggro? Right? Let's say these are melee. This is the cannon. Range. Right? Tower is going to kill this minion. Or actually, technically, it's going to kill this minion. All right? So this minion dies. And then cannon. Cannon can tank 11 shots. Right? So you only deny this one, and then Zed comes back and gets all this EXP. But because you didn't push it, and you played it so that you're safer, you actually denied 3 melee minions, and then you're able to safely farm the next wave as well. So this is perfect. But that's the reasoning behind it. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is good. I'm so happy that I'm actually watching this right now, because there's so many times where I watch people just like farm this, crash it under tower, and they can't do anything. Like they just stand around right here, and then Jarvan comes in and like kills them. So this is amazing.
At least I did something right.
Yeah, even if it's not intentional, right? Look, this cannon is gonna die. He missed it. He missed the cannon. See? So then here, when we have all these minions like this, look where Master Yi is. Look where enemy bot lane is. Who's to say that you push this minion, clear all these minions, Zed has to CS it now, and then you just walk bot lane, right? So this is kind of the opportunity you want to have when you play for the minions, right? Because you don't really want to 1v1 Zed at the moment. He's a little strong.
Yeah.
Right? So you occupy him with the minion wave crashing here, right? Because you slow pushed it. You actually queued the entire minion wave here too. You're actually playing this, like, I don't know if this is intentional, but you're playing this perfectly, like textbook perfect.
Nah, the Q was just accident because I knew he was going for the cannon shot, tried to hit him, but yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. But you see, if we cleared this a little bit faster and then we walked bot lane, you see how this position looks right now?
Yeah.
So if we were on this side instead of this side, this would be perfect. And then hypothetically, let's say Jarvan also matches this and Jarvan comes down here, which is very possible, right? Let's look at the map. Is Jarvan here? He is not. He's actually over here. So we could have made this a 4v2, and we don't want to play for anything up here because why? Our top laner is recalled and our jungle is bot side. So there's actually no reason for us to go this way.
Yeah, it's just dangerous.
Okay. Unfortunately, we do have to ulti away. I like it playing outside of the range. Okay, so now this wave is now frozen because you have more minions than he has minions. He's actually breaking the freeze, thank God. How nice of him.
True.
But yeah, because of this, like, we have to play super safe. We don't have flash, we don't have ulti.
Yeah.
This is why, like, the opportunity gets closed off. So now we become, like, a little bit useless, right? This is when Ahri becomes like, I can't really do anything anymore. Because Zed still has ulti. Jarvan is missing over here, so gotta be careful of this side as well. Really good trade. Good trade, good trade. That was actually best case scenario. Okay, perfect. All right, let's look at this wave state. It's in the middle. Zed has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one doesn't count. So we'll say 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 4. It's going to push to your side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just good to know, just so we can like understand what opportunities we have. Also, I personally don't like bone plating against Zed. So if we're to take a look, Electrocute, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, these are all perfectly fine. Bone Plating, Overgrowth, you could run those if you feel like you're not able to play the early game correctly, or like, you know, maximize the efficiency of early game, range versus melee matchup. I would recommend Sorcery though. If you go Mana Flow, you wouldn't have too many mana problems. Good, and then we can just recall here. Because we don't have resources. Preferably a little bit further. So yeah, Mana Flow and like, let's say for example you go Scorch. Scorch will deal a lot of early game damage. People in this elo will tend to just take damage as well. So that's what I would recommend, is Scorch and Mana Flow. Okay.
Yeah, right.
But other than that, like just those like 2 small mistakes, if we change that, that could change into killing Zed and maybe even getting a double kill bot lane, right? So the first part being like we kill Zed, and then the second part being that like after we crash this wave, we can rotate bot lane and then kill the 2 people here. But other than that, for a silver player, I like your playstyle. You're landing a lot of good Qs. All right. One thing we have to work on is W range, understanding W range and like auto attacking and then walking forward so we can get the second auto attack. But other than that, yeah, it looks good. Looks solid.
Yeah. So just gonna need to stop missing out on opportunities.
So just try to be aware of like limit test the game, right? Don't be afraid to go for those kinds of trades, all right? I want you to rather go for the trades and then lose than not go for the trades and then like you feel like you can't do anything against Zed towards mid game. Okay.
All right.
So play a little bit more aggressively, try to limit test, see what you can do. And I hope your games go better. I know your games are actually going to go better after this because like, honestly, I think it looks pretty solid. Like your gameplay looks pretty solid. All right. So other than that, like wave management, that's going to take a while to understand, but hopefully I explained it enough to be like super simple to understand. Generally, like if you look at this, like which way is it going to push? Okay.
Yeah, and the streams in general are very nice to learn things.
Yeah. And if you have any other questions, let me know in chat, you know, I'll answer them. But other than that, thank you so much for your time. The 30-minute session is over now, but
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, thank you. And is it okay if I use this for YouTube, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, perfect. If you guys are watching from YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something today. And as always, I am going to be doing some daily coaching sessions. We just started doing this. If you are a subscriber on twitch.tv/LegitKorea, you know, my Twitch channel, then you will be entered into a raffle. This will be daily, and you can also win a free 30-minute coaching session. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.